Hey everybody, it's Kenny K here again, and I wanted to bring you my top 20 list of slasher movies, but I wanted to do the 80s only because for me, the 80s still is the best of the best. You can see it in the newer slasher movies like Night of the Reaper and hundreds of movies that try to go back to that 80s feel, that 80s charm, you know, those 80s characters, an 80s killer, but some fail miserably in it, and some Night of the Reaper kind of, I mean, I'm not a big fan, but they did catch that 80s feel, yeah, really well. And so because they don't know how what can you do with a slasher to make it more inventive. Yeah, you can make a slasher inventive, but it's hard. It's a very simple formula, and that's what the 80s had. And the 80s, especially the 80s, was the one after the other. But that's the problem, you see, with the 80s, because I'm gonna put 70s and 80s slashers in this, because personally I can find 20 real good ones. And even put some personal favorites in there, because most of these are my favorites, but most of them are a score of 5 plus. There are a few even with a 3.5 score or a 4.5 score, but they're still okay. The problem is the Halloween came out on a budget of $320,000. Friday 13 came out on a budget, I think, $550,000, and there are movies made for $50,000 or $100,000 that even that even doubled, three doubled, 10 doubled their money. I mean, right? But most of them failed, and it was like every week you had a new slasher movie. So it's really hard to say. So I'm gonna start here with My Bloody Valentine. Why I think it's in my it's one of my top five horror and slasher movies. It's the the miner, the story about the miner, Harry Warden, and the location, Valentine's Bluff. It's just gritty, and the actors are not all models, looking models that no, they're like blue collar folk. They also always go to the same bar. It's a great movie. You got extremely cool killer in a miner's outfit, and great gore if you see the uncensored version. And nowadays you can find the DVD special edition version, sorry, with the censored version or the uncensored version. Please see the uncensored version. That's 11 minutes of gore, and that's it. 11 minutes pure gore. Allure. The pieces about My Bloody Valentine. They wanted to make a sequel in 1990, but it got scratched. That's just so fucking. And then we got to remake. Was it in 2014 or less? I didn't like that one. I really didn't like that one. It wasn't the worst remake, but no, I did. I wanted to see a sequel to this. So the next movie, what I wanted to say was Pieces. It's a Giallo-esque slasher movie, yes, because it's a black lettered and cladded killer. with a mini chainsaw, not a big chainsaw, but a mini, very gory. And you have George Christopher, Christopher George, and Linda Day George, and he's just the the kills are just amazing. So this killer is basically a lot of gore, taking off arms. Then he needs a torso. He's basically he kills his mom in the beginning with an axe, puts her in pieces, and then he wants to recreate her, putting pieces together from multiple people. It's just great. The movie starts out like it's on, it sits on a campus, and she says, "Are you gonna, are you gonna be working long? Because I want to study." And the guy with the chainsaw, he had a mask, says, "Oh, I'll be done in a minute." And okay, he comes towards her. Ooh, head off from the movie. It's great, great. Graduation Day, also with Christopher George. It's not as good as the previously mentioned ones, but it does have some charm. So the killer, we have this group of students that all have these medals in all different Olympic categories, like javelin, throwing javelins, or jumping over, what's it called, jumping over over a stick, like pole jumping, yeah, and um, the with the stone. I'm not familiar of all these athletic, but you've got all these people, and the killer. So in the beginning, a girl, a sprinter, gives her all, and the coach, which is Christopher George, he is pushing her so hard, is constantly pushing his golden seven, what he calls them, so hard. But he's pushing her so hard during a game for the medal. She wins the medal, but she eventually falls on the ground and her heart collapses. This happens a lot, by the way. Um, Athletes that are just giving it their all and dying because of a your heart. Basically, what happens? It tears apart of something, and it's lights out immediately. Immediate death. You don't feel anything, but it's lights out, and you're gone. So graduation day, what I liked is the killer basically has a stopwatch, because the sprint that the girl did was 30 seconds long, and the killer has a stopwatch of 30 seconds, and in 30 seconds he must kill his victim. So he's going after the golden seven remaining characters and the trainer, Christopher George, and he's killing them like a football with a like giant needle in there. The pole jumper, he falls on a bed full of needles. I mean, there are multiple different ways, yeah, ingenious ways of killing his characters, killing his victims. And then in 30 seconds, it has to be in 30 seconds. But you already kind of know who it probably is, because it's somebody who wants to take revenge. Okay, then one of my top five again. Now we're going to the 70s, 74, Black Christmas. It's just Bob Clark made family movies for children and families. to watch, and then he made this piece of extremely tense, creepy, atmospheric horror movie where the killer's upstairs calling in a way that you would so can only describe as once he's a mental maniac and the other time he's a sleazebag wanting to put his dick in your pretty pink cunts. I mean, he's just, yeah, they're the kills, they're in the subtle kills that when he kills somebody, you never know, you never see his face, you don't know who it is. We presume the killer is named Billy. There is a moment that one of the actors in there is Olivia Hussey, and another one is Margot Kidder, and Margot Kidder is being killed, and you see she sees because she's lying in bed sleeping. She sees the shape of the man, and the only thing she can see is the eye. Olivia Hussey at some point sees him talking again. You only see his big, giant, weird-looking eyeball, and he says, "It's me, Billy," and then he starts to stab her to death. It's just a great movie. Great. John Saxon is also in that movie. Great movie. Great movie. Another one is also from 70s is The Redeemer. It's basically Slaughter High, but in a more serious way, but also as gory as Slaughter High, but in a more serious tone. The killer has multiple masks and kills most of his. There's a little bit supernatural involved. He even can use giant-sized marionettes to kill somebody. So it's pretty creepy, actually. They all gather back at school, but it's like I said, it's like Slaughter High. They come at school, but in Slaughter High, the school is run down. They get in, and then they get chained. The door gets electrified, I believe, and in this movie, the door gets locked, and it's a great movie, a really great movie. The Redeemer, A Bay of Blood. A lot of people say this is the real first slasher movie. Before the first slasher movie, if you would basically do a quiz, a lot of people would say Psycho, Halloween, A Bay of Blood, Alice Sweet Alice. No, 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 no. Peeping Tom, but watched the movie, but it's not. No, A Bay of Blood is the first one where you've got kind of the template you need for a slasher movie. You know, they're all killed one by one, nudity. You know, the entire shtick that you need to have in a slasher movie. Now, Halloween didn't have a lot of nudity. The only moment you had nudity was PJ Souls' boobs, but that's only in the theatrical cut, not in the TV cut, which I recommend a lot more than the theatrical cut. But that's besides the question. A Bay of Blood, uh, it's a giallo movie made by Lamberto Bava, his son also, no, Mario Bava and his son Lamberto. They made quite a few good horror movies and slasher movies in the 80s. Absolutely. And A Bay of Blood is one of the first ones, yeah. Killer Party. Yeah, Killer Party. I like campus horror movies. Now, Killer Party is a horror comedy. More horror than comedy. It's great. It's really great. It's this sorority and these three girls want to be in the sorority, but they go in a house and they're gonna have a party there with their brother sorority. I have a brother sorority and a sister sorority, right? They're always fucking each other over, and eventually somebody died back there so many years ago by a sorority prank and died, and that ghost came back, and one of them is gonna be demonized, and then you're gonna see a killer in clothes, in an outfit, in a deep sea diver outfit. But the the thing is, you have Ralph Seymour in this, but the thing is, they fucked it up with the gore. The movie had a lot of kills at the end. You have to understand, half a party was still there, and he wiped out, the killer wiped out half a party. So it's such a shame. There are a few aftermath moments, like they find a body completely chopped up in the fridge, things like that, but it should have been gorier. But it's a great movie. It has this great beginning. They fool you twice. One with a movie, a horror movie, and but it's actually in a drive-in, and then the drive-in is actually a music for an MTV music song with this band, and actually a catchy band. April, why so fool? Oh, wait, no, no, April, you're no fool. it's, it's great. And then the movie actually starts with these three uh, beginning sorority sisters, and they're going to school, but one of their then bikes broke, and one is sitting on the back, and then you hear this song. These are the best times of our lives. These are the best times. I mean, it's just a great movie. It's cute. It's okay. I know cute. That's not for a horror movie, but I don't know. These three girls, they're like cute, and they're, but there is a foreboding shadowing. There's a foreshadowing situation going on, especially with the house, and a few people go in the house to check if it's everything safe, and they get killed, and you know it's there is a sort of tension hanging in the air, yeah, surrounding every time they get past that house. Really good movie. A lot of kills at the end. Sadly enough, always whoosh, and then cut to black. The Burning, the What If movie. What I mean with that is that apparently The Burning, the script, was made in 1978, 79, and I'm not sure if the movie even was filmed in that era. And so that means it's a burn. It's like they say this movie is a Friday the 13th ripoff, and it sounds like that. It's with a campsite. It's with, and the killer, Cropsey. But the script was written before the movie, Friday the 13th, and maybe even filmed before I'm not sure, but the script was written. They had the infamous, what's their names? Those pedophile producers. They were on board on the Burning, the what's his name? Steven Fisher. Yeah, yeah, Fisher Stevens. Yeah, he's also in this movie. It's a great movie, really great movie. Tom Savini did the special effects because they asked Tom Savini to come back for Friday the 13th Part 2, but he said, I don't want to do it because it's stupid, because Jason's dead. So, and then later he came back, but I think he came back as a friendly gesture for Joseph Zito, who in 1981 made The Prowler, and The Prowler is not a good slasher movie, but The Prowler is good for Tom Savini's special kill effects. And in his mind, The Prowler is his best work ever. So I think it's he got an in with Joseph Zito asked him, then he came back for Friday the 13th Part 4, but The Burning has Tom Savini too, and it's mostly known for its the what was it, the massacre, the raft massacre. Yeah, this guy Cropsey. Usually in a slasher movie, you take one, maybe two out. This movie he takes six people out in one time. You see the shears. He has these long shears. He's just swinging them about, chopping off a leg, then pointing it at somebody's throat, then snipping somebody's fingers off. It's just super bloody, but so great. And the ending, the kill, when the killer dies, they they really overdo it. Or if he's dead, so a sequel can never happen, never. A great movie. Mm. Sleepaway Camp. Like it for the quirky characters, especially uh, Billy, 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 the brother of Angela, and he has the foulest mouth you can have. You piece of shit! Eat my cock! Oh, it's just, he's just really an angry piece of shit. He says, you wanna kiss her? And he has this one line. So you have the older boys, and then one category under their age is his age, and that older guy says, "Eat shit and live, Billy," and the other says, Billy says, "Eat shit and die." No. The other says, "Eat shit and die, Billy. Eat shit and live." He says back, okay. I never heard that before, but okay. And of course, the extreme twist at the end, because killing wise, this movie's pretty lame. Yeah, and the actors are just bad. You have this bodybuilding actor. You see him sometimes in the background doing these exercises with dumbbells, and he always wears the shortest shorts. They're so short that his balls are gonna flop out at any moment. And then you've got a cook who's a fucking pedophile, and then the owner, it's this scummy actor. He's like, it's my fuck. And then there's this one of the counselors, a beautiful girl, wants to have a date with him. Oh, you want to have a date with me? This movie is just bonkers, but it's good. It's good. You're gonna have a good time with this one. The second, now, I actually didn't want to um, franchise movies in this one, and Sleepaway Camp is a franchise. Uh, But I did another movie. I have two movies in this one that I believe are franchises. But okay, I only took one, the best one, in my opinion. Another one is Silent Night, Deadly Night. It's probably the best made in the 80s, at least, Christmas horror movie. The way he, he the beginning, that disturbing beginning. I mean, they're going to see their grandpa, and the grandpa's like taking his arm and saying, "You're gonna die. Santa's gonna kill you." And then when the parents come, he's acting like, "Oh yeah, it wasn't good." So I don't know what his shtick was there, but okay. The parents get killed. I think the killer almost wants to rape the mom. Eventually, the two children, two boys, they go to a each what's it called? Yeah, they go to a where they keep kids, don't have parents, nuns run it. Yeah, and they're there until an adoption center, basically, right? Yeah, and the older brother is became a really big, bulky guy. But every scene that he everything that he sees that is sexualized, he goes crazy. He goes crazy, and there are one too many. And then he says he puts on a Santa suit that also triggers him because he works in a toy store, and he has to sit there in his Santa suit, which he hates because the killer who killed his parents was wearing a Santa suit, and then he raped his fucking mom. Then he goes into the everybody's partying. Two employees are in the back room, and they're having sex, and he takes an axe, and then he says naughty, and he starts to kill everybody, and the only thing he still can say is naughty. And then he goes on a rampage, basically a rampage towards the adoption center, and he wants to kill the mother superior because she was always really strict with him. But eventually he gets, yeah. You have to see the movie. Yeah, yeah. It's a good one. It's a good one. If you like a killing spree, um, a gory killing spree, yeah, that's one you really should watch. Um, we got Burn, Intruder, great movie from late 80s, 89, I believe. It's the one who I think closed it basically. Sadly enough, they made a poster and the killer's in front of the poster, and you can clearly see who it is. So from the get-go, it's one of the two managers. But the kills are the Raimis, Ted and Sam Raimi were working on it, and they were also acting in it. They did, and I believe who is the other one who did the special effects too? He also did the special effects for Living Dead series. There, yeah, the Walking Dead series. Greg Nicotero, yeah, he was there. The special effects were on par with Tom Savini. You have this scene where this guy you have this poultry cutter, chicken cutter to for chicken legs, and he's basically putting it and just go right through. You see it going, and they don't cut away with the gore. Then he puts the head like a little bit twisted, like it's ugh, great movie. Renee Estevez, but she gets killed pretty fast. But I liked the final girl. She had spunk. She was strong. I liked her. I liked the characters. They were all good actors. Final Exam. A lot of people think it's a shitty movie. I liked it. I liked it. I know there are not a lot of famous people in it, but I liked it. I liked it a lot. It's a campus kill slasher movie. It's a rip off of Halloween, I know, but there is something that something campus horror movies, and especially if the campus is like for only one third take people are one third of the people are still there, and that's it. It's creepy. It's creepy. A campus can be creepy, and the killer is a regular bloke, but I seen slasher movies with guys that let their faces be seen. They say things, but this guy doesn't say a word. He takes an arrow out of midair, which was a real arrow, by the way, because the guy was I mean, a real stuntman and also a special combat artist. Yeah. So I like the movie. Sue me. House of Sorority Row. It's probably one of the best sorority house slashers out there. Yeah, with although with Black Christmas is better, but this one is takes the second top. Yeah, the what I liked in this movie was with Eric the killer. I still don't know what the fuck his face looks like. You have one picture and it looks like he has a mask on or his face is completely deteriorated. But then at the end he does this he has this creepy big suit of a court jester. And I don't understand why he didn't use that. But it's a creepy movie. Uh, a lot of kills, good gore, good acting. Um, yeah, especially the lead girl. She really didn't want to be part of it, but the the other girl that want to be part of it, that organized it, is a bitch, but she has it coming the worst way possible. She gets this walking stain through her. She gets slashed. She gets slashed through the eye. I mean, yeah, she gets it. She gets it. The next one I wanted to talk about was Terror Train with Jamie Lee Curtis. I believe it's one of her last ones. Halloween 2 was her last one. This was her, I think her, before, yeah, I think that was her before Halloween last one. The cool thing about this, you have David Copperfield. It was cool to see him as young David Copperfield. I liked, okay, you know who the killer is. It's Kenny Hamson. Okay, the guy in the beginning who the sorority guys fuck over. But the killer, everybody's in, it's, it's basically a New Year's party, but everybody is clothed like it's Halloween. And he takes advantage of the opportunity to that the killer constantly takes a different costume to kill someone, to get close to somebody. And apparently, the entire movie long, the killer was the the entire time in front of us, the entire time, and that was genius, really genius. Um, Jim Lee Curtis is a really good final girl. She really gives it at all fights with the killer. It's really great, really great. Child's Play 2, that's the second franchise I said. I took 2 because 2 is pure and all Chucky madness. Also, more gore, more creepiness, in my opinion, from him. Uh, that last scene in the factory where his hand is stuck and he has to pull it up, has to cut it off, and then he takes that little knife he has and puts the knife hand. He has this knife hand. It's pretty. It's cool. It's cool and gory and it's cool. And yeah, it's not constant one-liners of Chucky. That's for later. But here he's a serious killer with a one-liner here and there. But that's not a problem. He's really cool. It's still after the same kid from the first one, Andy. He wants to inhabit. Next one is X-Ray with Barbie Benton, the ex-wife of Hugh Hefner. And the reason why I like this movie is I like creepy settings like hospitals, and in Halloween 2 he had a clinic, but it was two-story clinic, and he only had a skeleton crew, I guess, and because of Halloween, a few were, well, they took the day off. They only were with 8 people. That was it. This is a hospital with 10 floors, but the killer just willy nilly kills everybody, and it goes like a nurse is there, flop. He takes the nurse in another room, kills her, flop, and comes back. He's super fast. I don't understand how he does that. He's like a superhero. It's weird. He's like the Flash. But it's a funny movie. You know, the funny fact is that in America, it's pretty hard to get into a hospital. It's pretty expensive, right? Healthcare, all that shit. And just to get in a hospital room with a doctor, but let alone to stay the night there, they in this movie they won't let her go. They won't let her leave. Even if she wants to leave, they so that's the total opposite how the American health system works. Or she has the golden healthcare. I don't know, but Jesus. Unhinged, creepy atmosphere. Not a lot of kills, but creepy atmosphere. Really creepy. And the kills we have are really gory, only 3. And the ends you never see coming. It's so twisted and unhinged. Really creepy movie. That's the only thing I can say. It's really creepy, atmospheric movie. Just Before Dawn, great music. And you got Ralph Seymour in there. You got the owner of Sleepaway Camp. What was it, Camp Montauk or something? He's in there. Another one, can't recall the name, but you have these 2 inbred killers, these giant guys. And the first kill is basically a machete with serrations. He jabs it in his ass. You see it coming in and then coming out on the other side. You think, oh my, this is gonna be a gory one. Oh no, no. One guy is killed by just pushing him off a ledge in the water. One girl is killed off screen, and Ralph Seymour is killed just by a stab in the belly, and that's it. They really underutilized their killers, but the terrain, the cinematography, The acting is good, and then that soundtrack is really that. It's pretty creepy and beautiful at the same time. Honeymoon Horror. It's a really low on IMDb, but it's just so good. It's a killer. It's an ex-husband who was burned because he found his wife cheating, and everything started to something started burning, and he was burned. So you have this burn killer with an axe, a little bit, Jason Voorhees like. And I like the fact there's this sheriff. He's standing there, the he's standing there in his break on a lake. He takes off his shoes, his socks, and he lays them on the fucking cruiser, his cruiser. Then he pulls them up. He has these really thick cankles. Then he opens his pants, and then a few buttons here, and then he stands like this in the camera. Oh, how dear is this? He's constantly complaining. It's just a great movie, great characters, great movie, cheesy gore, but I don't mind. It's a cheesy, fun horror experience. Doesn't always have to be fancy. And the last one is gonna be Hell House with Linda Blair and what's his name, Barton there, Barton, Tom Barton. Yeah, he's also in. I think he's a sorority master or something. And they go into this mansion of these inbred people who inbred it, and they had a few mongoloid sons. Most of them are dead, and one is presumed missing, but they think he's dead. Now apparently two of them aren't dead. There's always a little spoiler that there's a second one, and the location is great. The castle. Linda Blair is great in this one. She really, doesn't she doesn't hold back. Yeah, it's a good movie. It's a good movie. There's even a guy who gets over the fence. You would think this guy is a surfer guy. You think he's not coming back. No fucking way. He goes running, and he goes to the police station, and the police station doesn't take him seriously because it's Hell Night, for students. Then he steals a shotgun with ammo out of the police station. Then he hijacks a car, and he goes back. He goes fucking back. And he kills the second one that was hidden from us. That was a twist that I spoiled, sorry. But great movie. It's a good movie. It's a good movie. It's a entertaining watch. So that's my top 20. There are a few that I probably let slide through the cracks, but it's already hard to really to get all these movies that are good slasher movies and the subgenre slasher. I had to put the 70s with it because it's hard. It's really hard. And some movies it's my personal list, so it's not saying that's your list too, motherfucker. No, it's my personal list, so I hope you enjoy. I'll put pictures, and I'll put a picture of the killer, and so you have the poster of the movie and the picture of who how the killer looks like. So that being said, I hope you have a great October month and happy Halloween.